This is episode 321 of Jumblethink.
T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Jumblethink, where we interview dreamers, makers, innovators, and influencers all about their journey of turning their dreams and ideas into reality. Along the way, we're going to share some tips on how you can turn your own dreams and ideas into reality too. Our guest on today's show is Sheila Fajl. More about Sheila in a moment. Whether you're a new listener or a longtime fan, if you've never subscribed to Jumblethink, head on over to your favorite podcast app, search for Jumblethink, and click subscribe. To make it even easier, if you head on over to jumblethink.com, you'll find links to places like Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and more. Now let's jump in to today's conversation. Hey there, welcome to Jumblethink. My name is Michael Woodward. I am your host, and we have a super fun conversation lined up for you today. Before we dive into that, I want to just ask, how are you doing? I know that for many of you, this coronavirus is really shifting your lifestyle. For us, my wife and I both work at home. We homeschool, so there's been some changes and some shifts, but overall, not much has changed for us. But I know for many of you it has, and I just want to encourage you that it takes a little while to get into the routine of working at home. It takes a little while to get into the routine of homeschooling if you've never done that before. But I want to encourage you that just like we had to figure that out when we first started to do it, you're going to be able to figure it out too. And you'll be able to get into a routine and into a pattern. It's going to be okay. Just keep going and find ways to make it fun. I think it's easy when things change to have fear, especially when there's so much unknown that we're facing. So I want to encourage you today, make this process fun. Have fun with your kids. Have fun working at home. Take some breaks. Get some time outside, hopefully, maybe going in your backyard or going for a walk. And take some time to just really enjoy today. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy spending some time with your family, with your, hopefully some friends if you're hunkered down and you're not near family. But most of all, make this time a lot of fun and really enjoyable. Now, today's conversation is with Sheila Fajl. Let me tell you a little bit about Sheila. Sheila is the founder and the creative force behind Sheila Fajl, which is this really cool, beautifully designed jewelry. And her passion is to help women feel good about themselves through the jewelry that they wear. She was born in Brazil and is now a proud Californian. Sheila brings her extensive fashion industry experience to her refreshingly simple yet elegant jewelry lines. Sheila began her fashion career as a model and went on to succeed in virtually every aspect of the industry: design, sales, marketing, management, and manufacturing. What started out as a hobby has now turned into a crazy successful business. Sheila's pieces have been featured in major publications such as Oprah Magazine, InStyle, Cosmopolitan, Vogue, and it's been worn by celebrities including Katharine McPhee, Selma Hayek, and even the Olsen twins. She's based out of LA with her headquarters there and their warehouse in Brazil, and they're creating really cool stuff. So let's join today's conversation with Sheila Fajl. Our guest today is Sheila Fajl. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me here. I love it.
Now, are you in LA right now?
I am.
You surviving the California lockdown?
Yes, it's weird times, but it's so interesting to be a part of this. I never thought in my life I would go to something like that. So I'm actually excited to see the end and see how life is going to be after that. I know it's going to be better because we are all going to come out stronger and more knowledgeable than ever.
Yeah.
So I know it's going to be better. It's just a matter of time. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about what you're building. Sheila Fajl Designs. You do luxury jewelry, which is really fascinating.
It used to be luxury. I don't feel like it's luxury anymore. I feel like it's very affordable.
Okay.
So it's a way of making people happy in an affordable way,
Yeah. Super fun. Now, you have an interesting story of creating what you've created. Walk us a little bit through. You're from Brazil. You're using Brazilian design to inspire American focused jewelry. Talk to us a little bit about that journey, because it didn't start out as like, hey, I'm going to start out this big business. It kind of just happened.
Yes. So, well, I was in fashion my whole life. Since I was 12 years old, I started as a model, and also by accident, just walking to a boutique that my mom used to go, and they had some runways there. And the owner of the boutique loved it. She said, oh my God, you should be a model, because I was always very tall. And so she taught me a little, and then a supermodel was there that day, and she walked me through it. So I started doing that every week, and my mom would have to drive me there so I could do it. But my mom, she's a lawyer, but she always loved fashion, so she was so proud, So she drove me there every week, and I would do that. And one day she said, well, what if we do live window? I have no idea what that was. Like, what is that? Well, you just stay in the window like a mannequin. And like, what is that? Okay, whatever, I'll do it. I was so young.
Yeah.
So I started doing that. And one day a guy passed by and comes in and talked to the owner of the store and say, oh my God, I love this girl, blah, blah. So they call me. And he said, I have a brand and I'm looking for a new model. So I said, cool, I have to talk to my mom. So, of course, my mom was freaking out. Let's go there. So we went there, and I was hired to model for them. And it was the biggest, like the coolest manufacturer in my city in Brazil at this time.
Wow.
So I started modeling for them with all these big names in my city, And then, but I never loved the runway stuff. It was cool, but my mom liked more than I did. But I really liked the sale part and the creative part. And I really like this side much better. So slowly I started working at their showroom.
Okay.
And at this time, I was illegal age, to work. So I had to be under the good thing that I was tall, so people didn't notice much. So I started working there more and more often on showroom appointments for the stores. And all of a sudden, I said, I really like the sales part.
Yeah.
So I talked to the guys, and they said, well, maybe you should come more often to the showroom, and maybe start in the sale department. So I started doing that, going there after school. And all of it, when I saw, they were my first employees. Employers. Actually, my whole life. And now he's actually a big blogger in Brazil. The other day, he wrote a big article about me, and it was so beautiful. It was very emotional. It was really nice. So that was my beginning. My beginning. And after that, I had manufacture. I had clothing manufacturer, and then I moved to leather. So I had a leather processor and a leather manufacturer. And I worked with Charles de Gucci, Calvin Klein, doing the leather for them and manufacturing the jackets for them as well. And from there on, I was always in manufacturing. When I came to the U.S., I had Gabe, who today works with us. And then I had Ian, my second one, and it was really hard to do with him. Clothing is really hard. I had to go to the workshops all the time. And so he couldn't crawl. That was really dirty. And like, oh my God, what am I doing? I can't do this with him. So I decided to stop.
Wow.
But again, being workaholic like I was always, and I couldn't stop. So I'd come home and from the park and things like that. And while he was taking a nap, I started making jewelry. And then I would go to pick up Gabriel at school. And people are like, oh my God, I love your earrings and this and that. So I started selling to the moms there. And sometimes I go to Starbucks and I was in line and people want to get my earrings. So I would sell to them right there. So that's how it started, And one day when I saw it was a pretty big business without even noticing. It just evolved really quick.
So it was never your intent you just liked being in the space. You didn't really necessarily go, I want to start this really cool thing.
No.
When did you realize, this could actually be my career. This could be something that I actually build into something much more significant.
Okay, you're gonna laugh. So I was doing this, like all my jewelry that I made at home fit in my Starbucks bag. Those little Starbucks. So I would bring to school and have in my car, and the moms would come. And so one day, my husband received a call from his accountant. I said, George, what is your wife doing? I don't know. She was doing some jewelry and this and that. Well, this is how much tax you owe. Like, what? What happened? Like, well, there's a lot of money in your bank account. That is coming from nowhere in her bank account. Like, what in the world is this? So, because I never even add up the numbers, because I was literally making by hand. So, didn't add up. It's kind of surreal. It's weird. I know I was a mom at that time of a young kid and 2 young kids, and I was not very good with the book, so I never looked into the bank account. I never did my balance, When I saw, I have to pay all this much for taxes. So I'm like, okay. And then we decided, okay, we have a business here. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Like, well, let's try to get a rep, because I work as a rep in Brazil as well.
Yeah.
And so I think the easiest way for me to do that, I was going to a few stores here in LA, but I want to branch out to other places, So I said, what about getting a rep in New York?
Mm-hmm.
So I called a few, and the internet was, the websites were just beginning. I already had mine because my husband was in technology, so he made a beautiful one for me. And so I started calling some reps, and the ones who had the idea, let me access her website and take a look, I got interested.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I scheduled an appointment with them, and I flew to New York to meet 2 of them that I chose. So I got there. I was wearing a bracelet and walking on Fifth Avenue. That's like movie thing, okay?
Yeah.
Listen to that. It's crazy. I was walking on Fifth Avenue, and this woman stops me in the street. Like, oh my, I love your bracelet. Where did you get this from? Like, well, I just made it. And what? You made that? Yeah. So she was the editor of In Style magazine.
Oh, wow.
Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
I was like, it can't be true. So I said to her, well, I don't have another one. This is the only one I have. I can't even be in a magazine because if sells, I can't make another one. So she said, well, here's my card. Whenever you're ready, give me a call.
Wow.
A year later, I called her. She was no longer the editor. So I told the story to the girl who answered the phone and said, hold on, let me transfer to the new one. So I told her the story. She said, well, can I see your stuff? Like, you can go to my website right now and take a look. Like, wow, you have a website,
Fancy, right?
Yeah. So she looked and she loved. And she said, well, let me choose some pieces. Would you send to me? Like, of course. And sure enough, was my first magazine.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was, I say, like, it was meant to be, or I don't know, the stars were in alignment, or I don't even know. Yeah.
So you end up having this experience that opens up the door to more of a mass understanding, people seeing your work. You've gone on to be in Cosmopolitan, Vogue, Oprah magazine. So you've gotten notoriety.
Right.
But that has to start with a design. People don't just go, hey, you make jewelry, we'll put you in our magazine. You have to have really good design. So talk to us a little bit about the process of your design, of how you figure out the looks that you want.
Well, I think that has to be with me being from Brazil, where Latin in general, we like everything big and over the top. And at that moment in the U.S., everything was very tiny, very handmade, very, very delicate era. And I never liked that. So I was making big earrings, and then I started making big rings, and everything was big, but not in a cool way,
Yeah.
Very different for US. Very, very different. And we were really, really well received here. People were really like, wow, what is that? I met the costume designer of Desperate Housewives before they were even shooting. And she freaked over. I met her in a store by coincidence also. She looked at the jewelry she couldn't believe. So she asked me, She gave me her car also, and one day she called me, said, "Can you come to the studios? And I want to show them this." Like, of course, they freak, they love it.
Wow.
And actually, this helped me later on to get my green card, because she's one of the people. She received an Emmy, or what was Emmy award? I think it's Emmy, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm so bad with that. Award for costume design.
Oh, wow.
So she's one of the people who you need letters from 10 influence people to show the government, why you're so special to the country.
Yeah.
And she's one of the women who gave me the letter of recommendation, because she said, "I never seen Julie like that before." So
wow.
But I think it has to do with my heritage, from the way we allowed people. At least I am, and I like vibrant colors. I like big pieces, and that's what I do. And then all of a sudden I realized that my whole line was basically really big, and I said, I'm not touching everyone's life, like that, as I could. Like, I was picturing my mom; she cannot wear my jewelry. So what can I do for her? What kind of pieces can I make that she would be able to wear? So that's how, when I started to making jewelry for more people, more different kinds of people. And that became actually my next inspiration.
Wow.
That's how I work today. I don't think about myself anymore so much. Of course, I do, like, when I start one collection, usually I think, what do I want to wear? But then I translate to all other kinds of people that I want to see wearing.
Yeah. You have some really cool designs. I was watching a video unboxing earlier today of some of the stuff that somebody was receiving from you. And
oh, cool.
And I think it was like a starfish piece of jewelry. And it was really cool how the pieces stacked together. And it was a bracelet or earrings. And it's just a really unique piece, and one that,
thank you.
When you think of these things, they've got to be something that people really find unique and creative. And that's your pieces. They're so creative, but there's a complexity to them, but also a simplicity of the design. And it just really shines as a piece of art, really.
I'm glad you see that, because, yes, I like very simple pieces at the same time.
Yeah.
So they're big, they're elaborate, but they're simple. They're simple to me. And it's amazing, because if you people don't realize that when they see jewelry, they don't think about it. How is that made? So it's all made by hand. We have a ginormous team in Brazil. Actually, they are all in quarantine right now. We just closed it today.
Yeah.
There as well. But we have probably like 500 people. I don't even know. My husband knows better than I do. 500 or 800, I don't even know. And it's a big, big team. And every single piece is made by hand. But what does that mean? For example, you get the hoop with 3 stars.
Yeah.
So first we have the little wire, right? So that wire has to be formed and cut it. And then we have to solder first of all, we have to hand brush each star, what's already really hard to do. Then we have to solder each star by hand, and in a way that the other one, the pair, mix it, like it matches exactly where the stars are. What's not easy to do, because it's literally made by hand. Like, there's no pattern, So they really do it by eye. This is where it goes. It's crazy. And then the post is also soldered by hand, and it's very, very delicate. It's very difficult to do. People have no vision how it's done. So we actually made a video to show people, and everybody gets mesmerized. Like, wow, I didn't know that so much work goes into one piece.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
As we pivot towards the end of this first segment, there's always a few questions we ask, and we're going to go ahead and ask those. The first one being, how are you finding purpose in what you do?
For me, it's pretty simple. I feel like I make women really happy. Like, I do a lot of events. Like, I go to stores and we do events, and the amount of women that come to visit me is incredible. And I see the smile that I put in their face, and this makes me so happy. This really, really, for me, it's everything. And when you start talking to them and they get a little inspiration from you, make their lives better. Like I was talking to one of my employees this week over the phone, and she said, "Sheila, you're gonna laugh. I still have my hoops on, and I'm in my PJs, and I still have my hoops on, because makes me feel like a little more feminine. Otherwise, my husband's gonna look at me, and I'm always in my PJs looking horrible. I have to do something. So I have my hair done today, but I have my hoops on every single day. But at least I feel like I'm more put together. It's a minimal effort that makes you look better. And when you look better, you feel better.
Yes.
And then you make everybody around you better, right?
So on your website, on your About page, you say, I want my jewelry to not only make a woman look special, I want her to feel special. Every time someone's wearing one of my pieces, receives a compliment and gets that warm glow inside, I know I've done my job. And that's such an interesting perspective, because I think of jewelry, and you think of some of the designers in that space, and you think of kind of arrogance and kind of like, I'm designing for myself, I'm designing for what I want or what, but you're really taking into the consideration, how's this going to make a person feel? Not only is it going to how they look, but what's that emotional tie? And I love that.
Yeah, and that's why I do so many events. People feel like, sometimes I cross the country probably like 4 times in a month, just to do those events. And people, why do you do that? Like, this is like feeding to me, like really to see the smile, to get this inspiration is so fulfilling that it's really hard to understand.
Yeah. What is one challenge you're currently working to overcome?
Oh my God. It's funny. So I can't stop making things. Like I can have a new collection every single day.
Right.
And as a business person, I just can't do that.
Yeah.
I have to pace myself. I have to launch in collections. It's a business. And for me, it's really hard. So thanks God I have my husband with me and my son now to do this for me, because if it was up to me, I honestly will have a new collection every day.
Yeah.
So it's something that I really worked hard this year. And for the first time, I think in years, I was able to remove pieces from the line, which is also really hard for me, because it's almost like they're all your kids, like you don't want to put them aside. No, I don't. So, and then people say, oh, but I really want that one again. Like, no, you can't have it. For me, it kills me. So these are my challenges in the business right now. For me personally, is to, okay, this is the collection and I'm not going to add anything else to it. That's it. That's enough. If it's 10 pieces, here are the 10 pieces, and I'm not going to do anything else. But then I can launch another collection for a few months. So this is horrible, to have to stop. For me, it's very, very challenging.
And finally, what is the next big dream or goal that you're working on?
Well, I have something, but I can't talk about it right now. It's a new collection that hopefully, I don't know what's going to happen now, right? But it's for me, it's going to be a groundbreaking.
Wow.
And it's really, really cool. Gabriel is super excited about it too. But I can't give you any more hints about that.
Well, it's something for us to look forward to, though. So we'll be watching for that.
I think it's going to be our biggest thing right now, actually. Right now, no, but from all times, I would say.
Wow.
It can be really, really, we're very excited about it. So I can't wait for all this to pass, because, again, sooner or later, this is going to be done. Yeah. And we're going to be stronger, right?
Yes, absolutely. We're going to take a break right here. When we come back, more with Sheila Fajl. Chasing big ideas and dreams is hard. Doing it alone makes it almost impossible. But where do you find a tribe, a community of dreamers, of idea makers, of entrepreneurs, of creatives just like you? Well, at Jumbo Think, we're here to help, and we just launched our new Facebook group, a group of people just like you, a tribe, a community of dreamers, of idea makers. Some of us are asking questions, some of us are giving answers, but we're all there to support each other on this journey of making those dreams and ideas a reality. You can check it out by simply going to jumblethink.com/group. It'll take you right to the Facebook group where you can join our growing community. Why not join a community of people just like you who are wrestling through the ideas and dreams they have and creating them? So head on over jumblethink.com/group to join our Facebook group. Now let's return to our conversation with today's guest, Sheila Fajl. We are back. Before we get going, people need to know how they can find and connect with you. So how can they find and connect with your amazing designs?
Well, I think the easiest way is Instagram, because I'm constantly checking and my team is constantly checking. So sometimes I personally answer, and I love Instagram. So I think and also we do Facebook. We have our Facebook page, and sometimes I also am one of the people that answer them. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the easiest way.
Cool. We'll put all those links in episode notes. So wherever you're listening, just go down below. It's probably below the player. We'll put them there so you can just go on down and click on them, and it'll take you right to Instagram or Facebook or the website or wherever.
Yeah, it's at Sheila Fajl.
Perfect. All right, I want to take this conversation one step further. You are dealing with the coronavirus mayhem right now. How are you navigating that as a business owner? How are you navigating that to keep the e-commerce that you're doing going, keep the retail that you're doing? How are you keeping that going when it's a little crazy right now?
Well, good question. Right now we are in lockdown. So yesterday was the last day, right? And today we're still gonna try to ship what we sold through the night. Mm-hmm. I don't know exactly how they're gonna do it, but they're working on that. And then we're gonna have to shut down. But we still have a lot of online stores and stores, especially in the South, who are still working. And they're either doing pickup only or delivery. So we are constantly posting on Instagram, on our stories, reposting what they're posting. So a store in Tennessee just said that they have Sheila Fajl hoops. So we're posting that on Instagram. And so they're still able to ship and still able to do deliveries. So that's what we are doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to do except for kind of heed the warning and try to keep on top of things. For you, is this giving you time to think about what you want to do in the future with the designs that you're doing? Are you using this time to just focus on the business aspect? How are you kind of focused on the business during the lockdown on your end? Well,
for me, again, I cannot work on another collection for a long time because I have all planned and actually ready for the next for this coming year. But for us, it's time to think about where we want to go, where we want to be, what we did wrong in this past year, in 2019, what can we improve, how to improve. So now that, because, throughout the year, you don't have much time to do this kind of thing, to do the thinking, right? To do the planning.
Yeah.
Now is the perfect timing for that.
Yeah.
So we've been talking a lot about that. We've been Skyping for our team. What can we do? And, so I think that we have almost like an opportunity to think about our business and do better next year.
I love that perspective because it allows you to really take an assessment of where you want to go and what you want to do.
Yes.
There's a lot that you've done. You've had huge successes. You have celebrities like Catherine McPhee and Selma Hayek and the Olsen twins and others wearing your jewelry. There's a lot that you've accomplished and done. Right. What's the one thing that keeps burning inside of you that you just go, oh, I'm so excited? Maybe it's that collection and you can't talk much more about it, but what's the thing that you just get fired up with as you continue designing and building the business that you've done so well building?
It's funny that it still fires me up when someone like Oprah wants one of your pieces,
Yeah.
someone like Michelle Visage, people that can have anything in the world and choose to get one from yourself, from me. Like, seriously, sometimes it's like, it hits me. Are you like Michelle Visage, for example, was her 50th birthday not too long ago.
Okay.
She calls me. I was in London. She calls me and says, Sheila, I know what I want for my birthday. Like, what do you want? It's like, I want to buy for myself your 18 karat hoops. Like, are you joking with me? This is what you want? You can have a new Porsche, you can have anything. You want the hoops? Like, yes, but I want it now. That was Sunday, and I was in London. So, okay, Michelle, I'll make your wishes. So I call my son, Gabe, can you meet Michelle at the office right now? She was actually traveling too. That's what she wants for her birthday. So I feel like this is so cool that people that can have anything that they dream of, and they want something that you made.
Yeah, it's a real validation of the quality of what you do and the choices that you're making. It's got to be hard when you design something, both from an emotion standpoint, but also a business standpoint, to say, I think that this is really going to do well. I'm super excited about it. And there's a lot of vulnerability in putting that out and sharing it with the world and then waiting for that reception, whether it's a celebrity or an everyday person, to really come in and say, I resonate with that design. I want that. Talk to us a little bit about how you deal with the emotion of designing, because it is so personal.
It is very personal, and it's crazy when you think like, okay, this is going to be amazing. This is going to sell like crazy, and then you go to a show and people don't love it.
Yeah.
And then you go like, how come? I thought I was so sure that this would, like be incredible. But you know what? You learn with that too.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to follow your instincts, and but sometimes even if they didn't love at that moment, maybe later on they will, or maybe this would evolve to something else that they will love.
Yeah.
So I don't take failure like in a bad way. I always learn with that, and I change it. That's how we survive recession. A lot of our friends, designers, went bankruptcy with recession.
Yeah.
And, they had to close their doors. And I said, I talked to my husband, and he's like, I think right now it's time to remove all the expensive things from the line and focus on the more affordable for this moment.
Yeah.
Like, I love the idea. Let's do it. And we did it, So I try to be positive and always learn with the situation.
Yeah. And I love that, because you're responding to the market, you're responding to what people can afford, you're responding to what people like. There's got to be a time where maybe you designed something and it didn't hit quite the way you were just talking about it, the way that you wanted. And then you were just a little ahead of the curve, and then a year later or 2 years later, people are like, oh, that piece is so incredible. Talk to us a little bit about understanding what people need at that moment.
Yeah, that's a frustrating moment when it happens, and it happens. But again, like, okay, maybe remove from the line. And when you see, like, it even happened to us with, I don't even remember how many years ago, with skulls. Yeah. I saw it coming. We made a few. People were not interested. So I said, okay, they don't like skulls here. So I removed from the line. And all of a sudden, the skulls were everywhere. Like, seriously, now? So put back in the line the skulls,
You need to put like a little footnote on the wrapping. We did this 2 years before it was big. Come on, people.
And you didn't like it, okay? Yeah. But again, you have to learn. You have to adjust. I think the main thing for me is to be open and not take it personally. Yeah. They don't like it, so what? Do something else. Wait, maybe they'll like in a few months from now on. But don't get mad that they didn't. It never happened to me. Never got mad because they don't love something that I made. Doesn't matter, Yeah. I like it, but if they might like it later, Otherwise, we'll make something else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry. One more thing. It's like, when I was young, I always wanted to be a doctor. And now I think to myself, thanks God I'm not a doctor. I'm not saving lives here. I'm only jewelry. It's only jewelry. Nobody's going to die if they don't receive their package. I don't deal with life-threatening problems, And I'm thankful for that, and I'm thankful for all the doctors. But like, wow, that must be hard. I have my responsibilities are so small if you compare, I'm just going to put a smile on someone's face. I'm not saving anyone's life. So I feel like that's an approach that people have to think about it when they're dealing with this kind of things that, as you said, was luxury.
Yeah.
Right? It's just to make you feel better, nothing else than that. Yeah, not saving anyone's life here.
Yeah. But you are enhancing it, and you are giving them beauty,
Yes.
and you are giving them something that they're proud of.
Yes.
Well, we're going
and it makes me happy.
That's really cool. We're going to take a break right here. When we come back, it's rapid fire questions. You may be looking for something to do while you're in lockdown. If you are, did you know that there's over 320 episodes of Jumblethink? There's a lot to catch up on if you've missed anything, from conversations with LeVar Burton to Olympians like Natalie Coughlin. We talk to amazing people doing incredible things. We'd love for you to check out some more stories from amazing dreamers, makers, innovators, and influencers. Head on over to jumblethink.com and you can find every episode of the show, along with links to places like Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Google Play. Well, you get the idea. We're pretty much everywhere you can listen to podcasts. So head on over to jumblethink.com and catch up on those past episodes you may have missed. Now let's return to today's conversation.
Mettez le contact, reposez votre bras et attendez. Restez calme pendant un moment.
We are back with Sheila. Sheila, are you ready for rapid fire questions?
Yes, I am.
The first one is, as a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I want to be a surgeon, a doctor.
You were just sharing about that a minute ago. And
yes.
I think the world is better off as you doing jewelry. It's just a beautiful thing what you're building.
I totally agree with you.
What is one tip you'd give someone with a big idea or dream and they don't know where to start?
Just do it. Just do it, and don't think about, how much money I'm going to make with this. If you don't start small, it's going to be harder. So you start, like I started my kitchen, basically, my garage, and start selling to your friends, start working with your friends and family, and listen also to what they have to say, Like some people don't like to take criticism, but it's very important if you're starting your business.
Yeah.
So I'd say just do it. You have to stop analyzing. You have to start the business. And I think that's a hard part for a lot of people. What I see around me is this. People analyze everything. But if you really love it, it's going to happen. Start small so you don't risk a lot.
Yeah. And it sounds like for you, you also made it really fun. It was more of a thing that you enjoyed than all about like the success that you could build. It was just, I'm doing what I enjoy doing. There are people out that like what I'm doing, and it just really resonated.
But I think that's how you do it, because if you think about, are people going to like this or not? Well, some people will, some people won't. You can't please everyone.
Right.
But I know that's a concern that people have in general.
Yeah.
But you're always going to find your people.
Yeah.
That's what I say. You're always going to find your people. So go for it.
What is one change you would like to see in the world?
And hunger,
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine a kid being, like dying from hunger. This breaks my heart. It's the worst thing for me as a mom. It's something that I would love to live enough to see this not existing anymore.
What do you want your legacy to be?
I don't think about that. That's my kid's problem, not mine. I really don't.
That's funny. Where do you find inspiration?
In people. Some people say, in nature and this and that. For me, it's people. As I said, I love going to events and meeting different people. And I see, I was just talking to someone the other day, and she wanted a hoop that's like an infinity. That doesn't matter. And I'm like, okay, I write down, and sure enough, a month later we already have it.
Wow.
And it's not just because she wanted, because I see, okay, I never made such a thing like that, so I have to do it, but on my own way. And if you look at the collections, every single piece has a name on it.
Yeah.
And those names are from the people, most of them, I'd say maybe like the ones that people's name, they're all they were made for a person with that name. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If it's Jana, it's because I could imagine Jana, my friend Jana, wearing those earrings. I made for her. Even though she doesn't need to love it, she doesn't need to buy it or anything, but that's what I made for her.
What is one book you think every dreamer should read?
There's so many, but I just read one actually last week, and that I think was very inspirational for that. It's called The Holy Thief. I don't know if I'm saying right. If you understand, like thief, right? Like with my English.
Fifth, like as in the number?
No. Someone that steals something.
Ah, thief. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. The Holy Thief. So you say it.
The Holy Thief.
Yes. Thank you. So it's about a rabbi here in LA.
Yeah.
Who is from New York, from Brooklyn, and he was he is an immigrant, and he comes from a very conservative Jew family. Yeah. But he was a gangster. Wow. And he was a thief and all that. They all end up in jail for many, many years. And he found someone who believed in him in the jail system. And he ended up, when he left jail, he met a woman who had a rehab center and met a rabbi who believed in him and made him study. And now this guy is a rabbi in a very well known place here in LA. And he has a recovery center that does amazing. I personally know a lot of people who went there and did excellent there. So I feel like this guy found someone who believed in him,
Yeah.
that made him come out of all this, and now he's helping others. So I feel like there's always someone good around you that you can trust, that would help you.
Yeah.
For me, for example, when I was starting, was the Norris John Bayer at that moment. She looked at my jewelry and like, oh my God, I have to have that. And like, I don't even have production for you guys, So, well, let's start with only 30 stores. Like, oh my God, 30 stores? How am I going to do that? And then she said, oh, you have to have EDI. Like, what in the world is this? So I went to look it up and like, I don't have this. I don't know how to do that. I can't do it. Then she said to me, it's okay. I'm going to give you a whole year to be compliant to that. When she believed in me and gave me this opportunity, I deliver everything in time, everything went smooth. And she gave me a whole year to be compliant with that. I had the time to build my business. And then my husband decided to leave his company and join me. So he took care of that. But the act of believing in me and giving me this opportunity changed my life, made the business basically.
Yeah.
I feel like there's always someone like that around you, that will help you do that.
Love that. For you, how do you define success?
For me, it's happiness. That's what it is. For me, I'm sorry, but that's transit.
Nothing to be sorry about. It's a good thing.
Well, some people say, oh, to sell to this many stores or to be in this department stores. For me, it's not. It's like when I go to those events and visit the stores, and the owners of the stores are so happy that I'm there. The people that come to see me, the women that bring their daughters to meet my son, all this makes me so happy. It's like, this is success,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What is one trend you're currently excited about?
I think I'm not a trend follower per se, but I see that the trend right now in the world is getting together as one. Virtually, of course.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't hear much about genders anymore, about colors anymore, and makes me so happy.
Yeah.
We're coming out as one. We're all here to help each other and praying for each other. So I don't know if you noticed, but this whole week I haven't heard anything about genders, about bathrooms, about nothing like that. What for me should exist. We're all people.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. My dream is to have a world where there's not such a word as gay anymore, or black, or white, or yellow. It's all people. Doesn't matter. So that's the trend that hopefully I'm seeing. I'm seeing, but I hope it really comes true.
What is one habit you find helpful in your life?
Well, I need my morning routine, like every day doing the same thing for at least the first hour.
Yeah.
Helps me set up the day, that this is what's I need, like upcoming how do you say that, like happy music in my life. So in the morning, I go downstairs, I get my coffee, then I come up, go take a shower, and I put my music, and that is almost like, okay, my day is starting and it's gonna be a good day.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my routine. That's what I like my day to start with.
What is one thing you wish you would have known when you first started out?
I never had this dream of, I want to be in this department store or that, but end up that we went and we did all the department stores. But if I knew that what would bring me more joy and make me more successful would be work with the small boutiques all over the country and all over the world, I think would make my life much easier. I realized that working with people is what makes me happy.
Yeah.
And if I knew that before, would make my life easier,
Yeah. If you weren't doing what you're doing today, what do you think you'd be doing?
First would be something with fashion, because that's what I like. I probably would be manufacturing clothing right now.
Oh, so you wouldn't go to be a doctor?
No, not for sure. No.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, no. Wouldn't be good. What was I thinking? I don't know. But I love fashion, so would probably be in the clothing business.
And finally, what is one dream you are still wanting to fulfill in your own life?
It's not mine per se, but it's more towards my kids. I want to see my son Gabriel and Ian both taking care of the company.
Yeah.
And that's my dream, for them to be their company and for them to experience what I experienced. Because I know they both love the company, they love the customers and all that. But I want them to experience that, like really live that. Because right now, I'm almost like a buffer for them. I go first and they come next, and I want them to be the first ones, because it's such an amazing experience. It's so, so fulfilling.
As we wrap up, we always like to leave our guests have the final thought. So what is your final thought for all of us listening today?
Follow your dream. Don't give up, and I think like also with times like that, with Corona around, you see that humans can be exceptional in times of crisis, right?
Yeah.
You see like what's going on in Italy, people singing in the balconies and things like, and this is, you have a chance right now to do something that you can tell your kids later. Like something like maybe making soup to your neighbors, or even doing what they are doing in Italy, like playing your neighbors happy. Do these kind of things. Put a smile on someone else's faces.
Yeah.
I think that's the message of this year, right?
Yeah. Sheila, it's been a lot of fun to have you on. I love your designs. I'm excited to see this new project once it releases, this new collection. Please let us know when it's out. We'll share it with all of our listeners again. And We wish you the best through coronavirus. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we wish you the best in everything you build.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. I love talking to you, and I can't wait to be back. And stay, as you said, stay safe, stay strong, and we are going to get through it, okay?
Once again, we want to thank Sheila Fajl for being on today's show. Super cool what she's creating. You can find the links to her in the episode notes. Go check it out. I think you're going to really enjoy it. Now, here's my final thought for you today. You know, many of us are in lockdown. Many of us are struggling to figure out, how do we navigate business? How do we navigate the next steps in what we do? Right now is an amazing time to innovate. It's an amazing time to rethink what you're doing. It's an amazing time to repurpose your direction in the right direction for where you need to go in the future. So take some time this weekend. Take some time to pull back and reflect, to journal, to just sit and be and process through your emotions, process through your thoughts, take an assessment of where you're at, and begin to create a strategy and a road forward for where you want to go, for the things you want to create, for the values that you believe in. This is an amazing opportunity to reset life as you know it. You can go back to the old routines when we come out of this, or you can set yourself up for a new success, a new future, the future of your dreams and ideas. I believe you're created for something awesome, that your dreams and ideas matter, that you are significant. And many of us choose to settle for something less, to get into a routine, to get into the things that we think we should do instead of the things that we're created to do. So take that time today to reset, to redirect your path to the right future, the future you're created to do. Thanks again for tuning into Jumblethink. Now it's your turn. I would say get out there, but stay in, dream big, and change the world around you.
En avant, en arrière, sur les côtés. Vous êtes une autre personne. Les mères de famille, les enfants, peuvent également prendre un moment revitalisant. Dans quelques mois, lorsque vous aurez bien saisi la technique et que vous serez maître de votre corps, vous pourrez vous décontracter même en travaillant.